Hello everybody, here we are once again with one more build guide video. We have so many billions upon trillions of build guide videos in this YouTube channel that I don't even know why I'm still making this type of videos or any type of videos whatsoever. Here we have the best dual wielding FOLG build you have ever seen. At least so far. This is the guy. He's holding one of my top favorite melee weapons in the whole game, the FOLG, which is a mastery frequent. This one. And the idea of this build is to dual wield this weapon and do the best that we can. I decided to go with a Daoist class, which is Warfare Mastery at Neidan. I'm using Neidan Mastery because I got some of the passive skills that help very much with the survivability of this build, like these two. These ones. But before we talk about skills, let's see the attributes. This is a legendary hero. I started this one at level 70. I have spent 0 points on health, 0 points on energy, 0 points on intelligence. I have spent quite a few points on dexterity, and most points have been invested to strength. So this is as a legendary hero at level 70. Of course, these numbers can go higher if you level up this character. Now, about the masteries. Since we are dual wielding a melee weapon, or two melee weapons anyway, we have maxed out, of course, the weapon training. All of my skills get +3 because I have some items that provide +2 skills. We have maxed out the weapon training, the dual wielding skill tree, all 4 skills of this tree, the hue, the crosscut, and the tumult. Very, very powerful. Especially when you use such good weapons. I have spent only 1 point on this one because I got this one sometimes to trigger and get the +33% offensive ability. I have already done a video with this build at level 85, just for the boss fights. But of course at level 85 it has some increased stats and skills, but that is a different story. It was only to see how this build can perform approximately at maximum level. The dodge attacks has only... I have spent only 1 point on this one, later I will spend more points. I have maxed out the battle standard, but the triumph is not yet maxed out. I will max it out, of course. This is very crucial because this build is all about physical damage mostly. This one reduces the physical resistance of enemies, which means they receive more physical damage. I have maxed out the onslaught, of course, because this one provides the buffs to physical damage. It also provides the buffs to physical and pierce resistances with this one, which is also maxed out. We have the hamstring, which I will probably max out in the future. This one reduces defensive ability of enemies, which means that now you can deal even more critical hits and critical damage in some cases on your enemies. And it also reduces the armor of enemies by a flat amount. Reducing armor means that they receive more physical damage from your attacks. And of course the Ardor, which provides attack speed and movement speed when you use this one. I'm going to max out, it is not yet maxed out, the Warwid, which is an AoE skill, and of course Lesser Rate. I will max out this one as well in the future. It is not that important to max it out right now. But I have maxed out the War Horn to stun enemies in a huge meter radius, and also the Doom Horn, which reduces the enemy's health when you use it on them. The reduction to enemy's health is on the current health that they have, not on their maximum health. So for example, if my enemy had 5401 health, as I do have down here, and I used this attack, which provides 33% reduction to enemy's health, this one would have reduced the 5401 by 33%. If my enemy had the same amount of health, but his health was reduced already by other attacks of mine, let's say that it was reduced down to 1000 instead of 5401, so this means that their bar wouldn't be filled totally, and you would be using the 33% reduction to enemy's health. This one would apply based on the 1000, the current health on the enemy, not on the 5401. So this is the current health, the reduction to enemy's health. And also remember that this stat has big enemies, big bosses actually, big bosses. And I think also hero enemies, they have great resistances to this stat, enemy's health reduction. So this one is useless against them, but you can use it on other enemies. Regular enemies and Sabian enemies. Sabian enemies, by the way, are the ones that have yellow names. In an Neidan Mastery I don't use many skills. I have maxed out the Potted Elixir for the regen and the resistances that it provides. I have maxed out of course the consequences at the add-on because these ones reduce the resistance of enemies. It is multiple resistances of enemies and we can destroy enemies when they have this thing on them. Of course I have maxed out the Aura of Tranquility because it provides so much the survivability that it is crazy, but it comes at a very high cost of energy per second. And I have maxed out the Melting Armor, which also provides lots of survivability and some damage reflection. And last but not least, the Blessing of Jin-chan. Maxed out. This is one of my top favorite skills in the whole game. This one, when triggers, it drops from dead enemies golden potions. So, at least for now, this is the setup of the skills. Now for the items. I'm using the Strength of Pangu, one of the best artifacts in the whole game, including all DLCs, for survivability. It is probably the best. This character needs survivability, but it also provides the strength points and offensive ability and total damage that they are very useful to this build, to every build, but since this build is playing with strength and physical damage, getting plus 75 strength is a very big nice boost. Here we have the Impenetrable Suit of the Tinkerer, an Atlantis item. I didn't have a better Tinkerer chest armor and I used this one. It doesn't have the best base armor, but at least it has very good pierce resist. And I use the Stew of Eldirmir to get energy regen per second, pierce resist and strength points, and the Terracotta Plating for resistance and health. Here we have the Helmet of Valhalla, awesome helmet that comes with Ragnarok DLC. The Might of the Ancestors, which, if I remember correctly, this item drops from Eternal Embers DLC or from the Electrum Orbs. I don't really remember. I think it drops from the Eternal Embers DLC. So, this is a very powerful item. Bracers, very useful, especially to a build like this one, and the attack damage converted to health is a life savior. The Agility of the Forefathers. One more great item which drops again from Eternal Embers, if I remember correctly, or from the Electrum Orbs, but I think it is from the Eternal Embers Act. A great item, especially for the 20% attack speed and 23% strength. I mean, these buffs are huge, so we get very good buffs from this one. We have the Myrmidon's Pendant. This one, it is a classic old item, one of the best amulets in the whole game. Big buffs to resistances, physical damage, health, and the War Witch skill, which I should have it here, but where is it? I have the War Witch. Yeah, I forgot to put it here. Okay, let's put it. We have the War Witch of the item and the War Witch of the Warfare Mastery. The Eye of Horus. This item is very crucial to this build. It provides very good resistances and also energy points, which is very useful and crucial, and energy regen per second, and energy regeneration, and energy cost. So, here is my energy regen. If I remove this one, it goes down to 15.80 from 25. So, if I use this one, it starts dropping down, and if we start casting a couple of these skills, it is going down much faster. But if we have this one here and this one, energy regen from 15.80 goes up to 25, instead of losing energy, we gain energy. So, on this item, the combination of energy points, energy regen, even if it is only +1, 58% energy regen and the energy cost reduction, this item is absolutely perfect for this build. And of course we still lose energy points when we use skills, but it is not as bad as before. This ring is the Soothsayer's Imperial Seal of Tranquility. This item is awesome. A huge buff to health, and plus to all skills in Neidan Mastery. So, what is there for us to see now? This weapon, the FOLG. This is a mastery frequent that drops from troglodyte enemies in Hades Act. Unfortunately, this item doesn't have a prefix. It is just the FOLG of Alacrity suffix. It has the suffix of Alacrity. The suffix of alacrity provides an amount of attack speed which is it can go at a high number, but even if you get it at a low number, you get a very nice boost to your attack speed. So now this item has plus 38% attack speed, which is awesome. And I decided to put on this one the Pen Claw to get more base physical damage. These numbers 65 damage and 12 damage, these are physical numbers. So this item now is very powerful, and it is very quick at attacking enemies. And here on this FOLG we don't have a suffix, but we have a prefix. This is the Warlord's FOLG. Warlord's prefix provides +2 to all skills in Warfare Mastery. And this is how we get +2 to all skills in both masteries. We get +2 to all skills in Warfare from this one, +2 to all skills in Neidan from this one, and +1 to all skills from this one. On this one, I decided to go with Anubis Wrath, first of all because I wanted to get more attack speed with the bonus of this one and the attack damage convert to health. Of course, we already get attack damage convert to health from this one, but this one doesn't have any attack damage convert to health, so this one uses this attack damage convert to health, and now this one steals health from enemies. This one has already its own attack damage convert to health thanks to the Anubis Wrath, but it also uses this one, the attack damage convert to health of this one. And those two stack together and we have 27% attack damage convert to health. To this weapon. To this one it is only 15 of this one. So now, for the rest of the stats we have 61%, 80, 31, 76. This is not the best, but we have a huge buff to physical resistance which helps with especially the bad torso armor, which means it mitigates physical damage. 35 vitality, minus 63 poison and 8% bleeding. But the good thing is that these numbers are not as bad as they look like, because, for example, this item provides 31% damage absorption. The damage absorption absorbs all types of damage. So, if somebody attacks you with poison or bleeding damage, that one will absorb an amount of damage, and then you have also the resistances reducing a little bit the damage, which is not very much, but anyway, this is very tiny amount. But anyway, that damage absorption helps very much with surviving this type of attacks. But if we drink a potion, this one goes up to 55 and this one goes up to minus 16. Minus 16. Why? Because we have the potted elixir, which when you drink potions, it provides poison life and bleeding resistances. So I guess that now you can understand how powerful this mastery is to support builds. Secondary stats, we have perfect stun resist, but the others are very bad, only this one is kind of good. Movement speed is very awesome. Casting speed we don't need more. Offensive ability is perfect, of course it will go even higher as we level up and gain some rewards or whatever, or spend points on dexterity. Defensive ability is not perfect, but anyways we have very good physical resistance, and again, don't forget the damage absorption. Chance to dodge attacks projectiles, we can increase the dodge attacks chance by increasing the levels of that skill of Warfare Mastery. And this is it. So, this is the build. I have already started, some of you know already that I have already started playing from level 1 to make this build. I'm not going to play this character at level 70. Because I decided to play that one and level up from level 1 to level 85 and go through all late game dungeons, get all rewards, possible rewards, and also upgrade all these legendary items. Now, this build has lots of room for improvement. First of all, we can upgrade all 5 legendaries and hopefully get some very good stats to help this build specifically very much. Second, I could get an even better Tinkerer chest armor with more base armor and replace this one with that one. Third, hypothetically I could get 2 FOLGs having both a prefix and a suffix instead of only a suffix or only a prefix. and hopefully to have a very good start. So this build could use some farming for specifically these weapons, FOLGs. Of course, reaching level 85 means we get more points, more rewards, permanent rewards from side quests and main quests on poison resist, elemental resistance and whatnot. More attribute points from side quests or main quest rewards, or skill points as well. So we can have this type of improvements of the build. Then of course, leveling up, we can spend even more skill points to some of the skills and improve them even further. So as we can see, also we can get the rewards from the endgame dungeons, the 3 dungeons of all 3 difficulty levels, which is 6 permanent rewards. So this build has a huge amount of room for improvement. This is what I'm going to do. This is why I have started playing this one from level 1. And very soon on live streams we will continue leveling this specific build because it is very interesting. And by the way, this build is already super duper powerful in normal difficulty, and so far I have been playing that build solo self-out. No items from the transfer stats. So guys, I'm not going to do any gameplay now, because I have already made a video. I will put the video link in the description of the gameplay of this build at level 85 to see, for you to see at maximum level some of the boss fights, what this build can really do at maximum level against big bosses. Thanks for watching, remember to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, follow me on Twitch if you want to watch live streams on Twitch, and I'll see you very soon again. Have a great day.